We want you to be as informed as possible while navigating the challenges of COVID-19. One area of concern for many is money. The CARES Act provides relief to businesses, but also includes new rules that impact your retirement accounts. I FaceTime tonight with local financial professional Mike Kojonen to get a clearer picture. It seems like we're kind of learning day by day all of the things that this CARES Act does cover, this economic relief package for coronavirus. But how does the CARES Act impact retirement savings?
Well, a couple things. When it comes to the RMDs, if you were 70 and a half or older last year in 2019, you're required to take out your required minimum distributions each year out of your IRAs, 401ks, 403bs. So what the CARES Act has allowed is to suspend those for this year. And why is that important? Because nobody wants to sell your investments in a down market. We lost about almost 35% in about a 6-week period. The market did. We've recovered about half of that back. But nobody wants to sell your investments when it's low, just like you don't want to sell your house at the bottom of the real estate bubble about 10 years ago. So it's going to allow us to have those dollars come back, and hopefully next year the market will be a lot better.
Also, some penalty-free account withdrawals are covered here.
Yeah, so if you have an IRA, 401k, it's allowed if you're under 59 and a half. Typically the IRS would do additional 10% penalty for you taking money out of those accounts. Because you're technically too young for retirement. So it's allowed you to take up to $100,000 without that 10% penalty. You still have to pay your federal and state taxes on that money. But also in a 401k, typically that loan on a 401k is $50,000. You're allowed to take up to $100,000 a loan in your 401k. Gives you some additional funds. I'm not a big fan of these unless you really need to utilize these dollars.
Also some opportunity for Roth conversions covered in this too.
Yeah, so it's never a great opportunity to sell your investments low, but I'd rather get out of your IRAs and 401ks when the market's low and get into a Roth, because the Roth, the money grows tax-free, and is a greater opportunity to have those dollars grow tax-free in a Roth than in a traditional IRA, because in the future you don't have to take up those RMDs. So it's not always the best situation for everybody to look at a Roth. Sometimes it's not a benefit. It's not, we're under that Reform Act still, so tax brackets are still low. It's a great opportunity to take advantage of that, but still check with a professional on that.
What do you think, maybe a question that you've been getting in your office, but should we be taking advantage of these new rules to access our retirement money? What's your advice there?
Yeah, fortunately, we've had our clients in that situation. Most of our clients are in that retiree frame. We've been preparing them for things like this. So fortunately not. A lot of our clients have been asking for their children. And if I had the opportunity to take money out of my IRA, if I'm under 59 and a half, and up to $100,000, or take money out of the 401k, I would opt for that loan instead of taking a withdrawal loan, because it's going to force you to pay that money back. So I think just to have these available, if you weren't affected, don't take advantage of it. You don't want to push off your retirement by 3 to 5 years or maybe longer. So just look at your situation and just don't take advantage of that. But the whole RMD situation, I think that's a great idea, not to take any distribution out this year.
What about, do you think that there is anything we can do to avoid having to make a decision like that down the road in the future?
Yeah, I think what this has taught us is the unexpected just happened. It can happen, and it just did. So it's forced people to look at their budgets. So if you haven't, I'm sure most people have really got down with their budgets, and you can download the budget worksheet on my website at Principal Preservation, but fill that out and throw out that useless spending that we shouldn't be wasting our money on. So get better with your budget. And also what it's also taught us is, as we preach about having enough money in reserves, for those people who had enough money in reserves that really haven't been affected at all. But get those reserves built up. When you get life back to normal and you're back to your job or full-time, build up those reserves 3 to 6 months of your expenses set aside, so in case anything happens like this in the future, you're going to be in a good situation. But never stop planning for the future for retirement. So you never stop contributing to those investments. And if anything, I've been telling people, this is a great opportunity to keep investing more when the market was down. That's a great opportunity not to cut back your investing, but put more money into the market when it was recessed, because it's going to help your money grow faster.